This is Hollywood Casinos On the Money.
Presented by Ohio for Responsible Gambling.
Here are your hosts, Dave Biddle and Scotty Vegas.
Welcome to On the Money. Scotty Vegas, Ryan Baker. I am Dave Biddle. Man, I tell you what, Memorial Tournament starts tomorrow.
Yes.
For years, it was like, man, how much rain are we going to have? The weather looks pristine. We're going to be out there doing a live On the Money on Sunday. My maiden voyage to this beautiful golf course. I can't wait. Scotty Vegas, how you doing this evening, my friend?
I'm great. And you know how we always make a joke about, having a cot at the Hollywood Casino? Well, I got to tell you, I should probably have a cot out at Muirfield Village this week. Was out there all day today, and we'll be out there with the Juice Boys, morning juice, starting early, maybe even before there's any sun out. I'll be out there about 4:30 in the morning.
The first one I hear at the golf course, other than maybe the groundskeepers.
I asked Tom Sprouse, who is the incredible media director out there at Muirfield Village. I'm like, what time do the groundskeepers come in? Because I feel like I might be joining them. And he said they get here about 4:30. And I'm like, I'm pulling in at about 4:30, so I'll be right there with them. But it is one of my favorite weeks of the year. And it's honestly a tournament that I've made a lot of good gambling money with over the years. So let's do it again.
I can't wait. It's going to be great. And let's look at your odds to win the Memorial Tournament. Scotty Scheffler, no surprise, your big favorite. But if you think Scotty Scheffler, it's like, oh, it's even money. No. It's plus 360. If you're pretty confident he's going to win this tournament, you're still getting decent odds there, even though he's the favorite. Kind of a big jump to number 2. Devere Posey was telling us this is his guy if he had a bet on one. Xander Schauffele, plus 875. Ryan Baker's favorite golfer, kidding, is next. Rory McIlroy, 9-1. I'm going to fly through these. Fourth is Colin Morikawa, 13-1. Victor Hovland, 16-1. Ludwig Oberg and Patrick Cantlay, 25-1. Justin Thomas, 28-1. Max Homa and Tommy Fleetwood, 35-1. Tied for 11th. Lowest odds, Hideki Matsuyama, Sam Burns, and Wyndham Clark, 45-1. I'll give you 4 more. Tied for 14th. Russell Henley. Sahith? Is it we going Sahith or Sahith? Sahith Tagala. Then we got Siwoo Kim and Tom Kim. They're all 50-1. So those are your top 17. I didn't go any further than that. If you're worse than 50-1, you didn't make my cut here. Okay. I want to hear, before we go, best long shots. I'm defining that as anything 25-1 and over. I want to hear your fun memorial story that you were going to tell.
Oh, gosh. So, I got, first off, today was just an incredible day. I've been going out there for 13 years, guys, and today may be right up there with the top of my favorite days that I've ever been out there. And look, in 2020, when we had COVID going on and no one was out on the golf course, Anthony and I actually were able to do, Anthony Ruthman and I were able to do a show out there and walk the grounds when there were no fans. And that was an incredible experience because we walked with Tiger and Spieth and JT, and that was cool. But today...
He's name dropping and then some.
No.
We're just walking with Tiger,
But today was so cool because, first off, the weather was incredible, right? It was a beautiful afternoon. And then the celebrities that were out for the Pro-Am were just A-list, right? You had Rob Lowe out there. You had Peyton Manning out there. You had Steve Young. You had Chris Pratt. It was just guys after guys after guys. And we had the opportunity to spend a minute or two with them between the 9th green and the 10th tee. So we got, little glimpses. And so here I am with a little camera. I kind of acted as Anthony Rothman's cameraman and just walking around with these guys. And it was just a really, really cool experience. Ricky Fowler was another guy that we talked to briefly. So it was just a really, really fun day and a lot of fun. But going back to the betting angle, and I'm glad you went deep with the odds. I will tell you, Dave, I look at the first 5 guys on the odds board and I draw a line under that because I honestly don't think anyone outside of those top 5 is going to win it. I am very confident that we are going to see a huge name, big time winner. And those 5 names, Scheffler, Schauffele, Rory McIlroy, Victor Hovland, Colin Morikawa, draw the line right after those guys.
What about Patrick
I think it'll be,
Cantlay?
nope, not playing well enough.
Isn't he 2-time?
Yeah, he's won here. He's played very well here. He is not playing well enough right now. The top 5 guys, Scheffler, Schauffele, Rory, Hovland, and Morikawa, all come in really, really in great form. Okay, these guys are all playing fantastic golf, and they're also stars. So I believe, I know you want to talk about long shots. I'm not going to go long shot this week. I'm going to say it's going to be one of the top 5.
I like the long shots, man. I like the long shots.
I usually do too.
I'm feeling good from that Austin Cindric long shot bet in NASCAR on Sunday. Man, that made the account look a little better. Bet $9.
Ooh.
$9 turned into $250 because Austin Cindric, who I didn't even know till Ryan Baker told me this. We were talking about Sunday. I'm like, I was going to take Ryan Blaney, who almost won, but he ran out of gas on the last lap. So his teammate Austin Cindric won. So I was going to take Ryan Blaney in the race. And I said on the air, I said, well, his odds aren't as, I thought his odds would be like 10-1. They're like 4.5-1 for Blaney. So I was like, I'll take his teammate Austin Cindric at 25-1. And then you could get it 30-1 at other sites. And Ryan Baker chimes in, born in Columbus. I never had any idea about that. So Ryan Blaney and Austin Cindric both born in the great state of Ohio.
So you had a little Sunday parlay party.
It wasn't even, exactly. It wasn't even a parlay. It was just a straight, like, 25-1 bet, then a couple other 30-1 bets. So here's what I'm going with. Tell me about this. If you were going to get with, we'll do this or that later. If you were going to get with long shot bets, I have 4 that I've pegged.
Okay.
I put like literally a couple bucks on each. Out there, if you're like new to sports betting, like you don't have to get in this and bet $50 or even $20. You can go and bet $1. So if a guy's getting 50-1 odds, you're a Sahith Tagala guy, you can bet $1. If you win, get $50 if he wins the tournament. If you lose $1. So I think most people know that. You don't have to be like a lucrative gambler. Trust me. I like to bet a couple of bucks, $5 here and there. So Patrick Cantlay, 25-1 is one I have flagged. Max Homa, 35-1 I have flagged. Hideki Matsuyama, 45-1, and Sahith Tagala, 50-1.
Okay, my only argument against those guys is there's a lot of guys that are not in form with those long shots. Like Cantlay has had a bad year. He has not played well. He hasn't been in contention much. So that's why I would have a hard time with Cantlay. But again, he has played so well here. Thigala is a guy who is coming off a bad performance last week, missed the cut. But that overall, he's had a very good year. I like the odds a little bit on that one. Max Homa, really not in form right now. He has not been playing well the last month or so. So I have a little bit of hard time getting there with Max. Hasn't really competed that well lately. So I have a hard time with that one. But, looking at it, if I were to throw a little bit of a long shot out at you, another guy who's played really well here, and his number at 35-1 is attractive to me, Dave, is Justin Thomas. Justin Thomas.
He's dropped to 35-1. When I was looking this morning, it was 28-1. I thought you were going to go Tommy Fleetwood Mac on me.
And he's been playing well.
35. He's another 35-1er.
Yeah.
With the Max Homa. Where are you at, real quick? Where are you at sometimes if you're talking about these golfers who are really good, they're slumping? Are you ever like their due? Or is that not really a thing in golf? You're like the best golf bettor I know.
Okay, so here's how I look at it. It depends on what tournament we're talking about. If we're talking about a big-time tournament, I can't take guys that are slumping heading in. A big-time tournament like this week, the fifth next week with the U.S. Open, I got to have guys that are in form. Those are the guys that typically, give you an example. Xander Schauffele heading into the PGA Championship was looking very good and won it.
And look what happened, right?
And heading into the Masters, we know how Scottie Scheffler was playing, and he won it. Those big-time tournaments are generally won by guys who are in form, and that's why I love the guys who are in the top 5 in the odds.
Next up, Scotty and I are going to do a Memorial Tournament draft. We're going to draft golfers. Woo! Scotty's going to throw a Ulysses up in the air to decide who gets the first pick, meaning Scottie Scheffler. That's coming up next on The Money.
More of Hollywood Casinos on the money. On the money.
Presented by Ohio for Responsible Gambling.
Coming up on ONN.
Hey friends, Brandon Beam here for Truehold. If you had a crystal ball, you wouldn't agonize over when to sell your home. You would just ask these questions. Should I sell when my home's value is sky high? Or wait and hope that the bottom doesn't drop out of the housing market? The thing is, I'm not ready to move. You don't need a crystal ball with Truehold's Sell and Stay program. You can literally sell now and stay in your home as long as you'd like. When you sell your home to Truehold for its best current value, you can fully cash out on your home's equity, and you can stay in your home as long as you want with an easy, affordable lease. Truehold pays property taxes, insurance, and all the maintenance and upkeep too. TrueHold unlocks your wealth without uprooting your life. You can get an offer now while your home's value is sky high and use the money to secure your retirement, pay off bills, or finance your dreams. It's your money. Do whatever you want with it. Call 1-855-300-9993 or visit TrueHold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out on your home's best value without moving. Again, that's TrueHold.com.
At Bet365, we don't do ordinary. We believe that every sport should be epic. Every home run, every hit, every inning, every play. From the moments that are legendary to the ones that fly under the radar.
See for yourself when you sign up today and get $150 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. 21 plus only, must be present in Ohio. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply.
Check out the all-new John Hinderer Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram facility in Heath and experience the difference. We're your exclusive AgPack dealer, offering up to $30,000 in savings and benefits. And if you're tired of waiting at the dealership for service, take advantage of our service made simple with Carvenience or mobile service. Home of the lifetime powertrain guarantee and one of the largest selections in Central Ohio. John Hinderer Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, Route 79 in Heath, or HindererCDJR.com. We love what moves you.
I need a small order of sheet metal to repair something in the shop. It's not much, but can you help me out?
At Metal Supermarkets, no order is too small.
Wait, really?
Yep.
What about small home projects?
Yep.
For a car I'm working on?
Yep.
Any kind of metal?
Yep.
Cut to size?
Yep.
With no minimum order?
Yep.
How about 1,000 cut pieces of aluminum flat bar?
Yep. Choose from over 8,000 types, shapes, and grades of metal in any quantity you need. And yes, we're serious. Any metal, any size, ready fast. Locally owned on Wilson Road.
Bobby Carpenter here for Affinity Whole Health, the leader in the testosterone and hormone replacement therapy game. And weight loss too, that's right. Affinity offers semaglutide injections for weight loss in addition to their testosterone treatments so you can lose weight and build muscle. They customize a plan directly for you. They added peptides to my TRT. They've added semaglutide with my friend's testosterone, and the results are amazing. They're pumped about summertime and pool season, so check them out at feelgreatcolumbus.com. That's feelgreatcolumbus.com.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Now back to Hollywood Casinos on the money. On the money.
Presented by Ohio for Responsible Gambling.
From ONN.
Okay, everybody loves a draft, right? And we are going to do a Memorial Tournament draft. And here's the deal. Dave and I, we are going to select 6 guys each. We are putting, Ulysses on the line here, right?
That's correct.
Okay, so...
We're also flipping a Ulysses.
We're also flipping a Ulysses.
The best
and the rules
dollar
of
bill
this...
there is a $50 bill.
The rules of this is to have the winner of the tournament, right?
Right.
If you have the winner, you win the Ulysses.
All
so
right,
you can call it in the air, all right?
I am calling, so it's either, I'm calling Ulysses.
And it landed straight up. Literally, we got to flip again.
How did you do that?
I don't know.
You couldn't do that. There's no way you're going to get. I'm going to stay with Ulysses.
Okay, Ulysses.
He never loses.
Uh-oh.
Ask the South.
It is not Ulysses. That
doesn't count. Can we get a ruling over here? Can we get a ruling over here from the Louisville PD? Come on.
One more.
We just need to start carrying coins.
Oh,
it's got to land on the table. We got to start. I know, right? There we go.
This is great radio.
There we go. Yes.
all right, Ulysses. Pick number 1.
Scotty Scheffler.
Wait, I thought I said Ulysses up. Oh, no, you said Darn it. That sucks. So you get Scotty.
I thought you were joking. Yes, I will take Mr. Scotty. By the way, I found his press conference very, very interesting yesterday. First time talking about the incident. He was very candid. It's one of those things you think, he's like one of those guys, seems like nothing bothers him. I found it very interesting. He was like, yeah, that was traumatic for me. And he mentioned, that mugshot's always going to be out there. That's not something he's going to laugh about for a while. If you think, Scotty's going to have a good laugh about that if you're out. He said that was a traumatic experience for me. And I like what he said, too. We could have sued them and won, paraphrasing, but I didn't want the people of Louisville have to pay for that.
Louisville.
I love Louisville.
not Louisville.
You and I know how to pronounce it. From
Louisville. So that's, yes, I'm glad we got into that for a second because Anthony and I were talking to some of the cops that were out there and just kind of getting their take as people who work the tournament year after year after year. And it was kind of interesting getting their perspectives on the whole thing and thinking that there was an overzealous police officer out there, which obviously we know now.
So you get the next 2. Let's go rapid fire. You get the next 2.
Rory and Xander. Rory and Xander going to Team Scotty Vegas.
Okay, I will go Colin Morikawa and Victor. Well, I don't get two, do I?
Yeah, you get two.
Okay, I'll go Morikawa and Hovland.
Okay, so those are, to me, the you draw a line after those 5. I think one of those 5 is going to win it. That's why it's unfortunate because you have 3 of them.
You're taking me to the sizzler.
I'm going to go with Justin Thomas. I talked about him as a little bit of a long shot at 35-1. I'll go Thomas, and then I will also grab a guy who's playing really well right now, and that's Tommy Fleetwood.
Fleetwood Mac makes the team. Okay. So you got JT and Fleetwood. I'll take so these are my final 2, or I get 2? Okay, I'll take Ludwig Oberg, and I will take Patrick Cantlay, 2-time champion of the Memorial.
Okay, so Cantlay. You've been talking up Cantlay, and again,
I'm sure he'll miss the cut now.
He's won multiple times.
Don't make me look stupid, Patrick. I know you're listening to the show right now.
Okay, I'm going to go Hideki Matsuyama. Who,
I love that one. I like that one.
And again, here, you love ball strikers. You love guys. It's a kind of a second shot golf course. And that's why I love Matsuyama. I'm going to go a tiny bit off the board here. Not too far, not too crazy off. But give me Cam Young. I feel like he has been so close to getting a win. At some point, it's going to happen. Give me Cam Young. A little bit of a long shot there.
Okay. So, wait a minute. Is Max Homa still on the board?
Homa is available.
My Homa. Give me my Homa. Max Homa.
Okay.
My main Homa.
All right, so here, you pick number 1. You got Scotty Scheffler. You got Colin Morikawa, who, by the way, is my actual pick to win the whole tournament. I love Colin Morikawa at the value of 14-1. You got him. You also got Victor Hovland. You've got Ludwig Oberg. You got Cantlay, and you got Homa. I kind of like your team better than mine. I've got Rory. I've got Xander. I've got JT, Fleetwood, Matsuyama, and Cam Young. All right, when we come back, we're going to do a little of this and a little bit of that. This is On the Money.
This is Hollywood Casinos On the Money. On the Money.
Presented by Ohio for Responsible Gambling.
From ONN.
Hey, folks, it's game day, and the betting's going to be intense, Drew.
You said it, Dave. But a good pregame routine keeps betting responsible.
That's right. You got to pause before you play.
Good call. Sports betting is hot, but it can be risky.
And pausing to set limits is an all-star move.
That's right, Dave. If you bet on sports, pause before you play to set limits, recognize the risk, and know when to stop.
Learn more at pausebeforeyouplay.org.
Do you want a job that is flexible, secure, and fun? It also offers excellent pay and is ranked as one of the best jobs in America, too. I'm talking about being a dental hygienist. And all you have to do is complete a 2-year program after high school. Visit ODA.org to learn more and to start helping people love their smile. This message is brought to you by the members of the Ohio Dental Association.
Do you have foot pain? Foot pain is not normal regardless of your age or job. Podiatric physicians are the most qualified doctors to care for your feet and can provide important foot care solutions or shoe inserts to better manage foot pain. Ohio Foot and Ankle Medical Association podiatric physicians are located throughout the state and are dedicated to providing the highest quality foot and ankle care. We've been serving the profession and the public for over 100 years. To find a member of the Ohio Foot and Ankle Medical Association near you, visit associationsadvanceohio.com.
This is the sound of a popular American motorcycle. It's the sound of freedom, the open road, really good times. And this is what it sounds like with a drunk guy in it. How do you like the sound of that? Cops are cracking down on drunk motorcycle riders. If you ride drunk, you will get caught and you will get arrested. Drunk riding, over the limit, under arrest. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Transportation.
A healthy body needs good food. This summer, the Ohio Department of Education and Workforce is sponsoring Sun Meals, a summer food program where kids eat free. Children under 18 receive healthy meals and no sign-up is required. Locations may be right in your neighborhood. Call 1-866-348-6479 or visit education.ohio.gov/kidseat for meal locations and times. That's education.ohio.gov/kidseat.
Hey, I'm Ruben. My band and I have a new song we're getting ready to record this weekend. I'm also a tow truck driver. When you move over and slow down, you're not only giving me room to work, you're making sure I get to go home at the end of the day and see my bandmates.
Roadside workers have lives and families, but when they're on the job, they put it all on the line to protect and serve us. When you see flashing lights, remember, they're not just roadside workers. Thank you for moving over and slowing down.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. You're listening to Hollywood Casinos On the Money.
Presented by Ohio for Responsible Gambling.
On ONN.
Welcome back to On the Money. Dave Biddle, Scotty Vegas, Ryan Baker. It's time for This or That. Hit it, Ryan. All right, gents. We know Brock Purdy was Mr. Irrelevant 2 years ago. Still has 2 years left on his rookie contract as that late seventh round pick, last pick of the seventh round, last pick of the draft. So he signed for, I was going to quiz you guys on this, but I put this in the show sheet so you already know. His signing bonus was $77,000. That was a signing bonus, $77,000.
Wow.
Okay. Now, his 2024 salary is actually more than I would have thought for the last pick of the seventh round. So his 2024 salary is going to be close to $1 million. $985,000 will be a salary this coming year. It was close to like $700,000 last year. My question for you guys, are you getting with Brock Purdy is the most underpaid player in the NFL this season, or are you not getting with that?
I'm getting with it. Guys, they were so close to winning that Super Bowl, right? I mean, and the fact that you're paying him less than $1 million, I mean, that's just absolutely ridiculous that the starting quarterback in the Super Bowl is making less than $1 million. Yes, that's the greatest value there is.
This is why they can do things like extend Christian McCaffrey and, probably a little more than they'd like to, and have, Nick Bosa's, one of the highest paid defensive players, if not the highest paid defensive player in the league. He definitely is, and they're in a great spot because they don't have to re-up him now. I don't think they're allowed to. They couldn't even do it if they wanted to until next offseason. Make him prove it one more year. I think he is the real deal. Not like on an elite level, but a guy that you want to re-sign, I'm guessing. But have another prove it year, and you're paying him less than $1 million. We're Scotty, average quarterbacks are getting $25 million a year. Average quarterbacks, not good quarterbacks, average quarterbacks. So yeah, he is, in my estimation, Ryan Baker, the most underpaid player in the NFL.
Yeah, I think because of the position he plays, you probably have to say that. I'm guessing there's probably an argument here for Puka Nacua, who's making just over $1 million a year.
Great call.
And was a fifth-round draft pick. So I think it is Purdy, but I will say this. He's probably very soon going to be one of the most overpaid players in the league.
Strong take out of you.
Ryan with the below-the-belt shot.
I like this or that, round one goes to Baker.
Boom, Baker.
Woo. Okay, guys. Give yourself a ding.
First round of Baker.
Okay, so today, guys, let's see if Baker can screw this one up, because usually he does screw up this or that.
Okay. Here you guys go.
June 5th is National Ketchup Day. So I want to ask you guys, you either have to get rid of ketchup for the rest of your life, or you have to get rid of mustard for the rest of your life. Which one are you giving up?
Easy. And I like both. I'm giving up ketchup.
Oh.
Yeah. I like mustard a little bit more.
Yellow mustard or what?
Yellow mustard. Yellow mustard. I mean, I like stadium mustard too. I'm not a Dijon mustard guy, and I know that's kind of in between yellow and Dijon, but I like a little stadium mustard. But I like yellow mustard. I like it a little bit more than ketchup. It really throws it. Well, I like it a little more regardless. Yellow mustard's a little bit more healthy for us than ketchup. Ketchup's
true.
Not all that good for us. So I'm getting with yellow mustard. What are you getting with?
Okay, so for me, thinking back on, looking at the foods, analyzing the foods that I eat, what could I do away with? And I love mustard on a hot dog, but I feel like I could probably get by without the mustard. One thing that I could not get away with, though, is no ketchup with my French fries. I have to have ketchup with the French fries. Maybe I could do cheese sauce, but now we're getting really unhealthy.
What about go Pulp Fiction like you're in Amsterdam and do a little mayonnaise? You're not getting with mayonnaise on your fries?
No, I'm not a mayonnaise guy on anything. But I am going to go with, I could probably do without mustard. I wouldn't want to, but I could do without that. I couldn't do without ketchup.
So I'm not going to lie. I could get rid of both of these for the rest of my life, and it would not affect me at all because
Ranch?
I'm not a big condiment person at all. No, I'm not a ranch guy at all. But I will say this. I do, if I have condiments, I would go ketchup over mustard. So I'll say I'm getting rid of the mustard. All right, guys, unfortunately here recently we lost Bill Walton, and I feel like Bill Walton is one of the voices of my childhood when I think of basketball. It's between him and Dick Vitale, I think, are the guys that I remember the most. I know we all love Bill Raftery, of course, and some of his calls. The puppies. But they were the big guys. They were on all of the games, it seemed like. So are you getting with Bill Walton as a color analyst for basketball or Dick Vitale?
Bill Walton for sure. My favorite one. This is one that never caught on. I was watching a game one time, an NBA game. He was being totally serious. But he was like, Chris Webber doesn't want the ball. He's running away from the ball. I love Bill Walton to me, and I'm not one of these Dick Vitale haters. I really appreciate him and what he's brought to the game and his energy. But for me, it's not a close call, fellas. I'm getting with the great Bill Walton, the great late Bill Walton. I can't believe we're even saying that.
As a guy who loves and loved college basketball so much, growing up, Dick Vitale was the guy for me. And I know he goes a little bit over the top and, towards the later end of his career, with just kind of not being quite the same level of analyst that he was at that point. But I loved Dick Vitale. I did. And I know he goes a little over the top, but I loved him growing up.
Baby.
And Bill Walton, I do like, but if you were watching him do college basketball over the last 3 or 4 years, he was crazy. Like, he just went
because Dick
crazy.
Vitale never was. Yeah,
I know. This is a great question, Ryan. You really brought it this segment, and I'm proud of you for this. Or that.
Does he win round 2 as well? Jeez.
Well, just a great question. I'm going to go with Dick Vitale over Bill Walton.
I love them both. They were both great. I love that Walton did NBA and college both. He was awesome, but. Come on now, Dickie V was. If Dickie V was on a college basketball game, you knew it was a big time game. It's awesome, baby, and he's a PTPer.
Diaper dandy.
I had breakfast with Dick Vitale once at the Broken Egg down in Sarasota, Florida, Siesta Key. So I'm going Dick Vitale.
He was also caught on a hot mic one time talking crap about Lawrence Thunderberg. Just saying. We're going to do more of this or that next on The Money.
More of Hollywood Casinos on the money. On the money.
Presented by Ohio for Responsible Gambling.
Coming up on ONN.
Common Man and T-Bone here for the Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus. It is almost that time for Columbus's biggest golf event of the year.
Yep, the Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino is giving away all sorts of prizes for their Memorial Wager and Win drawings on Thursday, June 6th at 6 p.m.
When?
Thursday, June 6th at 6 p.m.
You can win fabulous prizes like Memorial Tournament tickets, golf clubs, and more now until June 6th.
Must be 21 years or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966.
Eric was way behind on his taxes.
I owed a lot of money to the IRS, almost $15,000. I tried to make payments.
The IRS wasn't satisfied with Eric's efforts, so they came after him full force.
They're coming to put a lien and a hold on all my income, my home, my car. I was just overwhelmed at what to do.
Then Eric called Optima Tax Relief.
When Optima Tax got involved, the calls would stop, the threats would stop. It was easy like 1, 2, 3.
Optima Tax Relief is A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, and their team of expert tax professionals took care of Eric's problem.
I owe $15,000, and now my debt is clean. I don't owe anything.
Take Eric's advice.
If you have a tax problem, you need to call Optima Tax now.
Call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-348-0269. 800-348-0269. 800-348-0269. Optima Tax Relief. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Atlas Butler is built to keep you comfortable, and our plumbing services are no exception. You can rely on Atlas Butler for trusted, convenient plumbing and drain service. Our expert plumbers and drain specialists can take care of anything, from a broken water heater to a clogged drain. Call today, get it fixed today. That's our pledge to you.
Donate today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car can be picked up as soon as the next day. Receive a tax deduction and vacation voucher.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the third time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
The Fan. Ohio sports destination. Now back to Hollywood Casinos on the money.
Presented by Ohio for Responsible Gambling.
From ONN.
Welcome back. It is On the Money, and we are doing a little this or that. And I have been promised during the break that Ryan has a this or that may be the best this or that question of all time.
Oh, wow. Setting the bar high, Ryan Baker.
I don't know if that was said. I think it was said. I think I said it might be better than the last question. But
I think you said the best ever of any radio show of all time.
Yep, that's what I heard as well. But I will go first. My question probably won't be as good as Ryan's. But, guys, the college football playoff schedule is out. Right? We now know the dates, the times, the networks, all that good stuff. And I wanted to ask you guys, is this 12-team schedule now the perfect schedule, or would you have changed it a little bit? And I'll give you a quick highlight version of this. So there's now going to be one first-round game on a Friday night, and then 3 games on Saturday, the December 21st. Those are, again, going to be the the games that are at home fields in round 1. And then we get to the quarterfinals, and you'll have 1 game on New Year's Eve, and then 3 games in a row, all on New Year's Day. And then, of course, you got the semifinals on a Thursday and Friday, and then the championship on a Monday. Is this the perfect college football playoff schedule, or do you wish they did something different?
You're leaving it perfect. I don't know if I could go that far. I guess I don't know. I'm getting with it's like, well, I don't want to pull a Scotty Vegas and change the question. He's asking, is it perfect?
What don't you like about
Nothing is perfect, so I'm not getting with that. No, I don't dislike anything about it. So if that's the question, I'm getting with I like it. If you're asking, is it perfect? I don't know. Probably not. Does college football do anything that's perfect? I'll get with no. But if you're saying, is it good? Yeah. When I looked at it, I was like, yeah, this makes a lot of sense to me.
I'll tell you, I was looking at the schedule. It's like from December 20th all the way through January 20th. It is like football heaven. Like I got goosebumps when I saw the schedule that came out as far as everything that's going to be happening over that month. To me, it's going to be better sports for an entire month than March Madness. And that's crazy for me to even say. Ooh. Like, I love March Madness. That's your
favorite.
Everything about it. But that
Scotty's got a new favorite. Scotty's getting with a new favorite.
And we need a good phrase for it. We have March Madness. What are we going to call this December and January run of goodness? We got to figure that out.
Winter Madness.
I'm getting with it. This is the perfect schedule. I love it. Give it to me,
Winter
Ryan.
Wildness.
It's not perfect because you're going up against the NFL on that Saturday, the very first week. You've got 2 very good NFL games being played. It's the Chiefs and the Texans.
Head-to-head?
And the Pittsburgh and Baltimore head-to-head with the afternoon games on December 21st. So, no, it's not the perfect schedule.
It's perfect.
I definitely almost talked there. I want to hear Ryan's. I was going to go next. Ryan, you're up.
Best one ever. Here we go.
Here we go.
Pressure's on. A lot of pressure here. Guys, hopefully, obviously, this doesn't happen, but something happens and Ryan Day can no longer be the head coach of Ohio State tomorrow.
I hate this question
is a good one already. Yeah.
Are you getting with Brian Hartline, or are you getting with James Laurinaitis as the head coach?
are either of them listening to the show right now? Can you promise me that one of them is not going to come over here and tackle me? I'm getting with, and he's not as accomplished as the other one yet. Something tells me he would be a really good head coach, though. I'm getting with James Laurinaitis, but I love both of them. I hate picking between them. I'm getting with James Laurinaitis. He is just seems like he has future head coach written all over him. Not that Hartline doesn't. I'd be okay with either. You made me pick. I'm picking Little Animal.
Okay. Again, great pick. Great question. Very good. It did end up being better than what I thought it was going to be.
It was pretty good. I thought he was going to fall way short.
Yeah. No, this one's tricky.
It was a good one, Ryan.
I can't wait to hear what you think after.
Third round TKO.
I'm going to go with Brian Hartline. And the reason why is right now every wide receiver in the country that's a recruit is hoping that Brian Hartline walks through those high school doors and offers them a scholarship because of what he's doing and putting Emeka and Harrison and Jigba and Wilson and Olave, and it's just incredible. It's an incredible run, and so right now I got to give that to Hartline.
So I'm going to go with Laurinaitis for a couple reasons here. One, kind of what you just mentioned with Hartline. We need him on the recruiting trail, and I don't know if he can do that as much if he's a head coach. And then two, Bids, like you said, there's just something about James. He has great long-time head coach written all over him, and that doesn't mean that Brian Hartline wouldn't be, but there's something super special about James Laurinaitis, so that's the way I'd go.
All right, curious to get your take on this, guys. We've seen some no-name players have some otherwise what would be major gambling scandals, but people that have never heard of these guys. Like no one had ever heard of Jonte Porter. I don't even know if his brothers had heard of him before the scandal, like Michael Porter Jr. I think that's when he finally heard of his brother. I'm being a little facetious. So, and the guy in Major League Baseball that just got banned. I'm not counting Ohtani. Obviously, we thought he was going to be involved in that. Turns out, even I was wrong. I thought initially the story that came out was like, oh, he was covering the bets, and then he found out that, you can't do that, and then they went back on the story. Well, now Major League Baseball's cleared him. You have the federal, you have the Fed saying he had nothing to do with it. So Ohtani, got to take him out of the mix because it looks like he had nothing to do with that. Within the next 2 years, are you guys getting with a star player in one of the sports, at least a standout player, however you want to describe it? Not a Jonte Porter, this guy from Major League Baseball that no one's ever heard of, including his mom.
Is it Marcano?
Yes. So within the next 2 years, within any sport, are you getting with a star player who got caught up in a gambling scandal or no?
I'm going to say no. I think we're seeing the consequences of it, right? Marcano banned from baseball now. And we
Jonte Porter banned from the NBA?
Yeah, we know it's zero tolerance. And the funny thing about Marcano, by the way, he only won 4.3% of his 231 Major League Baseball related bets that he placed.
And won none of the bets on his own team. All 25 he missed.
He's almost as good as Ohtani's interpreter, who's telling the bookie as he's making bets, I'm really bad at this. Can you give me another $500,000?
So not only was he now banned from baseball, but he also lost a lot of money betting baseball. So
Idiot.
Poor guy. I don't think we will, to answer your question, I don't think we will see a huge name player get caught up in this because they're going to be making so much money. There's just too much to risk.
You nailed it. If you're a star player or even a standout player, however you want to define it, and you're a professional athlete, you're already making too much money, and you're seeing these scrubs get caught. You're like, why would I risk it? Now, I'm not ruling it out. That's why I've said 2 years instead of one. I won't be surprised if something happens. We're like, oh, boy. And we thought that's what was going to happen with Ohtani. But I'm with you, Scotty. I'm getting with it. Won't happen just because the star players are making so much money in pro sports. They have too much to lose, and now they have examples of other star players getting busted. I'm getting with it will not happen, Ryan Baker.
So every part of me wants to say, no, it will not happen. Like these guys that make enough money and are stars have people there advising them. They've got an interpreter placing the bets for them or something like that. They've got a guy ready to take the fall if someone gets in trouble. But some of these athletes a lot of times just aren't the smartest people. And I think somebody eventually is going to slip up and they're going to get nailed.
Okay, we say that these big names probably won't do it, but we know in the sporting world some huge names that have been involved with sports gambling.
Don't even mention my childhood hero,
Phil Mickelson, right?
That's not him.
We know the stories about him and how much he gambled. We know the Michael Jordan stories that are out there.
That was pocket change for MJ. That's not even a thing.
But it was out there. We know the Charles Barkley. I mean, look, and obviously Pete Rose. But we know these stars. And look, those are humongous names that were involved with it. And it wasn't allowed back then either. But now, that it's so, if it happens, you're gone. That's a little different.
And those guys didn't have to worry about gambling sites or gambling apps or whatever turning them in because they're in bed with the leagues.
Correct.
Yeah, exactly. Like you were doing everything illegally back then. You'd have to worry about the reason Rose got caught. People probably don't know this. The reason Rose got caught is because he was stiffing his bookies. And initially he got away with it. And eventually they were like, screw this guy. Screw this guy. We're not going to allow that to happen. I tell you what, we're going to allow running back recruiting to happen at Ohio State. Buckeyes landed a great one yesterday named Bo Jackson. Yes, Bo Jackson. We're going to talk about that next on The Money.
This is Hollywood Casinos On the Money. On the Money.
Presented by Ohio for Responsible Gambling.
From ONN.
Have you ever found yourself in a situation where you think there's something wrong with your roof, but you aren't sure where to begin? Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. That's been the case with me. So I asked around and I found out Newman Roofing was the place to go from a good friend of mine. The best place to start was with a company who's built a trustworthy reputation for the last 32 years, like my friends over at Newman. When you ask them what makes them different from other roofing companies out there, they will tell you there are three things: their policies, which are fair and honest, their customer experience, which was fantastic, and their people, they're the best. And I can tell you, my son wanted to go ride dirt bikes with some of their team members afterwards. At Newman Roofing, they have a team that takes pride in their work. They scanned our yard to make sure there was no trash anywhere and it'd be safe for our kids. They focus on all the questions to get you answered through every step of the process, and they'll support you throughout. So when it comes to getting your roof replaced, don't just get a new roof. Do like I did and get a Newman roof and give them a call at 614-NEW-ROOF or go check them out online at newmanroofing.com.
Whether you're a seasoned pro or a new golfer, think beyond the green and head over to X Golf Columbus and X Golf Powell. Come experience the most advanced and accurate golf simulators in the world at X Golf. A fun venue with great food, excellent service, and a full bar. You can play around on one of our 50 courses, take a lesson from our PGA Pro, hit the driving range, join a league, or just sit back and sip a beer on the outdoor patio. Book your tee time today at playxgolf.com. X Golf Columbus and X Golf Powell, the home of indoor golf.
With Tim Hortons 2 hot breakfast sandwiches for $6 deal, you can mix and match your favorites. Mix and match between savory sausage or naturally hickory smoked bacon. Mix and match between an English muffin or flaky biscuit. Any two served with a freshly cracked egg and melted cheese. You can even mix and match how you share it. One for you, one for them, two for them, or two just for you. There's no wrong way to mix and match this tasty deal. 2 breakfast sandwiches for just $6. It's time for Tim's. Limited time at participating U.S. restaurants. Single item at regular price. Modifications and tax extra. Additional terms apply.
Are you not able to enjoy the summer as much as you want because of joint pain? This is the time of year for being outdoors. It's the best, but not if your knees, shoulders, hips, or back are hurting. Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Don't suffer any longer. Non-surgical joint pain relief is here at QC Kinetics. Call them today. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in regenerative medicine. I'm talking about lasting pain relief with no surgery, no drugs, and best of all, no downtime. QC Kinetics advanced treatments harness your own body's biologics and help restore and repair damaged joint tissue so you can walk, run, hike, play golf, move, swim, all pain-free. QC Kinetics is under the leadership of former orthopedic surgeon Dr. Mitchell Sheencup, a true pioneer in regenerative medicine. They have locations in Columbus, in both Gahanna and Dublin. Their advanced protocols have enabled tens of thousands of patients to reclaim their mobility. So go check them out at QCkinetics/Columbus or give them a call, 380-208-4544.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. You're listening to Hollywood Casinos On the Money. On the Money.
Presented by Ohio for Responsible Gambling.
On ONN.
So new running backs coach at Ohio State, Carlos Lachlan, already paying dividends, lands the number 3 running back in the country, according to 24/7 Sports. Bo Jackson, young man out of Cleveland. You're like, okay, running back, from Cleveland. Like, of course, don't give him too many flowers for that, right? I'll tell you what, the other two schools on his list, Georgia and Alabama, okay? And he had others that offered him, obviously. The final three were Georgia, Alabama, and Ohio State. And Georgia really wanted him. I mean, Alabama did too. He was really interested in Georgia. And the Buckeyes landed him yesterday. The number 3, to me, not a must get, but it was just like, man, like, because the big thing about Tony Alford that we didn't like, he was always finishing as like the runner-up for these recruits a lot. I didn't, it wouldn't have been a good first look for Carlos Loughlin to finish as the runner-up to Bo Jackson, a kid in his own backyard. And yes, I consider Cleveland the backyard of Ohio State. And this class, man, depending on what you look at, they're either the number 1 or number 2 recruiting class in the country. It keeps getting better, and there was a great weekend this past weekend, Scotty. I think more of those guys are on officials this past weekend with Bo Jackson are going to commit, but Bo Jackson committing, absolutely love that, Scott.
Yeah, the great offseason just keeps getting better and better, right? You just keep getting great news for Ohio State football, and this was awesome. And I'm loving the fact that you brought up who he chose Ohio State over, right? Georgia and Alabama. I mean, that's incredible. It was 6'2", 210. And I'll tell you, for me, with the transfer portal now, I pay a little bit less attention to the high school recruiting unless it's the elite of the elite. And it looks like Bo Jackson is one of the elite stars that's going to be coming here. And so, I found myself kind of paying a little bit less attention to the high school recruiting, but this is one that got me excited this week.
Yeah, and I feel like, obviously they have to recruit out of state, but you need to land the top 5-ish players in Ohio. You have to, in my opinion, if you're Ohio State. There's no reason not to, and they're doing that. It might not be like a situation like, let's say, for example, during the Trestle era where you're like at, 60% of your classes from Ohio. It might be like more like 40% now. My point is you better get who you want from the state of Ohio. You're Ohio State, you should. Ryan Day and Mark Pantoni would be the first ones to agree with that. But yes, we should. If there's a kid in Ohio, we want him, we should get him. They'd be the first ones to say that. And I'll tell you what, Scotty, they are doing that. And you're right. It's one thing after another. It's all the guys coming back. It's guys that got in the transfer portal. It's the recruiting class. Even last year's recruiting class, the guys that enrolled early all showed out. Like Jeremiah Smith, is he going to live up to the hype? Or maybe he'll exceed it. And then you have Chip Kelly coming in as offensive coordinator. I almost can't believe what a great offseason this has been.
Incredible. It's an A+ offseason. It really is. I can't think back to a better offseason in Ohio State football. And one thing that I love, too, is this quote that he put out there is nothing like the brotherhood at Ohio State. And that is just a great quote to read. And I can tell you from being on the Buckeye cruise this last year, and a lot of the Buckeye players, current players, were on that cruise, and just how they treated people and how they were on that cruise was something that was really cool to see. And the brotherhood is real, because look at all the former players and how tight they still are. And I think that's a really cool quote that he put out there about the brotherhood of Ohio State. And I think that was cool from Bo Jackson.
Tell me you're going to be a great athlete without telling me you're going to be a great athlete. My name is Lamar Jackson, and my nickname is Bo.
Yes.
Right. At first, it's funny you said that, Ryan. At first, I didn't even realize that I knew Bo was a nickname, and he wasn't related to Bo Jackson, the former NFL and Major League Baseball player. But I didn't realize till yesterday his name is Lamar Jackson Jr.
Yeah.
And Bo's his nickname. All right, up next is Best Bets. And we're going to talk more about the Memorial Tournament that's coming up next on The Money.
More of Hollywood Casinos on the money. On the money.
Presented by Ohio for Responsible Gambling.
Coming up on ONN.
Do you know someone struggling to figure out their mental health benefits? The Mental Health Insurance Assistance Office is here to help. Find us at insurance.ohio.gov/GETMHIA or call us at 855-438-6442. Don't wait. The Mental Health Insurance Assistance Office can help you figure out what mental health insurance benefits may be in their plan. Call us today at 855-438-6442.
Every year, Adult Protective Services receives thousands of reports of elder abuse, exploitation, and neglect in Ohio. When a report is received, Adult Protective Services can check in and provide help if needed. If someone you know is showing signs of elder maltreatment, don't hesitate to call 855-OHIO-APS. Let's work together to help every Ohioan age safely.
Do you want a job that is flexible, secure, and fun? It also offers excellent pay and is ranked as one of the best jobs in America, too. I'm talking about being a dental hygienist. And all you have to do is complete a 2-year program after high school. Visit ODA.org to learn more and to start helping people love their smile. This message is brought to you by the members of the Ohio Dental Association.
Do you have foot pain? Foot pain is not normal regardless of your age or job. Podiatric physicians are the most qualified doctors to care for your feet and can provide important foot care solutions or shoe inserts to better manage foot pain. Ohio Foot and Ankle Medical Association podiatric physicians are located throughout the state and are dedicated to providing the highest quality foot and ankle care. We've been serving the profession and the public for over 100 years. To find a member of the Ohio Foot and Ankle Medical Association near you, visit associationsadvanceohio.com.
This is the sound of a popular American motorcycle. It's the sound of freedom, the open road, really good times. And this is what it sounds like with a drunk guy in it. How do you like the sound of that? Cops are cracking down on drunk motorcycle riders. If you ride drunk, you will get caught and you will get arrested. Drunk riding, over the limit, under arrest. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Transportation.
A healthy body needs good food. This summer, the Ohio Department of Education and Workforce is sponsoring Sun Meals, a summer food program where kids eat free. Children under 18 receive healthy meals and no sign-up is required. Locations may be right in your neighborhood. Call 1-866-348-6479 or visit education.ohio.gov/kidseat for meal locations and times. That's education.ohio.gov/kidseat.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Now back to Hollywood Casinos on the money. On the money.
Presented by Ohio for Responsible Gambling.
From ONN.
All right, welcome back to On the Money. It is time for Best Bets.
Dave Biddle and Scotty Vegas both think they're right. Chances are they're both wrong. On the Money presents Best Bets.
Sponsored by Maxima Concrete. If you need a driveway, garage, patio, even an in-ground pool, Maxima Concrete are the guys to call. Schedule a free estimate today at maximaconcrete.com.
Scotty, you and I were talking like off the air, like I know he's the favorite and it's easy, but I feel like the value is actually there with Scotty Scheffler to win the Memorial plus 360. You and I were talking. Now, he's not guaranteed to have a good first round. Let's say he has a good first round. That's going to drop to like plus 150 probably.
Absolutely.
I still like the value at plus 3. I'm going to take. I've already taken some long shots, just having fun. For those who are just tuning in, you can drop $2 on a guy like Sahith Tagala. Bet $2 if he wins 50 to 1. You win $100. He loses or finishes, he doesn't win, you're out $2. So I love these odds. As Scotty said, you can't get odds like this in any other sport, maybe NASCAR. But man, other than the long shots, I like Scotty Scheffler. That's my best bet, plus 360 to win the Memorial.
I have had so much fun over the years betting the Memorial Tournament. And maybe one of my favorite stories from last year, Dave, was I had money on Victor Hovland coming down the stretch. And we were watching the playoff between Victor Hovland and Denny McCarthy. And I didn't realize this at the time, guys, but we were standing right next to Denny McCarthy's girlfriend and family, and I didn't know, and my heart was pounding because I got a big chunk on Victor Hovland. Okay, and Victor Hovland ends up winning in a playoff, and I go crazy. I sound like I'm at a football game. I'm going so crazy when he ends up winning, and literally I got a tap, and I was like, that's Denny McCarthy's girlfriend right beside you, and I'm okay, yeah, but I'm still pretty pumped about winning that bet.
I don't care. Let's go.
Yeah, let's go.
I'm glad he lost.
She'll be fine. I just won this bet.
Yes. yeah. Second place
like
money.
The girlfriend of a PGA golfer. She'll be all right.
Money.
Right. Second place money. She's going to be just fine.
She's going to throw it in her face a little bit. No, I'm glad you didn't do that.
But the name that I've circled headed into this week, value-wise, is Colin Morikawa. He is 14 to 1, and I love the value just because he has been playing so well. He almost won at Augusta, played really well at the PGA Championship. He's won here at Muirfield Village, won the Workday several years ago. I love the way he's trending coming in. He's right in there. I think the value is right. So my best bet heading into the Memorial is Colin Morikawa. But again, if I had a gun to my head and had to pick one guy to win this tournament, you're right. It'd be at plus 360, Scotty Scheffler. But value-wise, give me Morikawa headed into this tournament.
I love Morikawa Bell.
Exactly.
I love Morikawa Bell, but the problem is he's gonna be like either leading or in contention on Sunday. You're gonna get ready to count your money, and then he's gonna fall off the map.
I hope not.
He used to be nails, and I think he actually is. I think it's just been this year. There's been 3 tournaments. There's also one last year where he was like kind of in control and he melted down. He was like 7 shots in the lead, and John Rahm came back and smoked him. I was like, you got. And I had the only reason I remember, I think I had like a 33-1 bet on Morikawa to win that. I'm like, oh, he's got it in the bag, baby. Yeah, I didn't. It's a lesson though. Yeah, I didn't hedge at all. This is what I should have called Scotty. What do I do here?
Hedge.
Great
second shot golfer. Great at approach shots. That's why I like Morikawa.
When in doubt about golf betting, Scotty will let you know. You don't know him personally. He will respond to your tweets. I'm serious. At ScottyVegas971. At ScottyVegas971. Well, that is our show for this evening. For Scotty Vegas and Ryan Baker, I am Dave Biddle. Thank you very much for joining us. We really, really appreciate it. This has been On the Money.
Eric was way behind on his taxes.
I owed a lot of money to the IRS, almost $15,000. I tried to make payments.
The IRS wasn't satisfied with Eric's efforts, so they came after him full force.
They're coming to put a lien and a hold on all my income, my home, my car. I was just overwhelmed at what to do.
Then Eric called Optima Tax Relief.
When Optima Tax got involved, the calls would stop, the threats would stop. It was easy like 1, 2, 3.
Optima Tax Relief is A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, and their team of expert tax professionals took care of Eric's problem.
I owe $15,000, and now my debt is clean. I don't owe anything.
Take Eric's advice.
If you have a tax problem, you need to call Optima Tax now.
Call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-348-0269. 800-348-0269. 800-348-0269.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Hey friends, Brandon Beam here for Truehold. If you had a crystal ball, you wouldn't agonize over when to sell your home. You would just ask these questions. Should I sell when my home's value is sky high? Or wait and hope that the bottom doesn't drop out of the housing market? The thing is, I'm not ready to move. You don't need a crystal ball with Truehold's Sell and Stay program. You can literally sell now and stay in your home as long as you'd like. When you sell your home to Truehold for its best current value, you can fully cash out on your home's equity, and you can stay in your home as long as you want with an easy, affordable lease. Truehold pays property taxes, insurance, and all the maintenance and upkeep, too. Truehold unlocks your wealth without uprooting your life. You can get an offer now while your home's value is sky high and use the money to secure your retirement, pay off bills, or finance your dreams. It's your money. Do whatever you want with it. Call 1-855-300-9993 or visit Truehold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out on your home's best value without moving. Again, that's Truehold.com.
Atlas Butler is built to keep you comfortable, and our plumbing services are no exception. You can rely on Atlas Butler for trusted, convenient plumbing and drain service. Our expert plumbers and drain specialists can take care of anything, from a broken water heater to a clogged drain. Call today, get it fixed today. That's our pledge to you.
Atlas Butler is at your service. Call 1-800-FURNACE.
Hi, this is Justin Hinderer. Come see us at John Hinderer Ford in Washington Courthouse for the best selection of new and pre-owned vehicles in Fayette County. We're all in on America and proud to be your Ford AgPack dealer. Don't forget to ask about our convenience and mobile service at the home of the lifetime powertrain guarantee, including engine, transmission, rear differential, and drive shaft on all qualifying vehicles. John Hinderer Ford, just off 62 at Washington Courthouse, or HindererFord.net. We love